Hello, and thank you so much for joining us here. I'm Netta Irampur, and here at CBS 8, we are working for you. We're getting to the bottom of problems you've asked us about, and we're looking for solutions. So here we want to start with the recent heat wave. Yeah, it's been hot, right? The summer temperatures put workers at some serious risk, and the state is reminding employers that they must follow laws and protect these hardworking crews that are out there in the blistering sun. CBS 8's Abby Black, working for you, got an inside look at how workers are staying safe this summer.
That's the warning, and then you'll see the danger zone.
Frank Najjar, the superintendent from Davis Reed Construction, pulls out his phone and shows me the screen.
We use the app called Heat Index, and it tells you it feels like 82 degrees.
When that happens, California law kicks in. Najjar has to notify his crews immediately.
Say, okay, you guys water up, get hydrated, and then if you need to take an extra break, you have to. So they have to be allowed. We can't just keep people working.
Najjar is using an OSHA-endorsed app that keeps companies in line with California's heat illness prevention guidelines, and he swears by it.
It's a great tool. Not everybody uses it, but we do. So it keeps people alive.
We were here when temperatures hit 82 degrees. That triggers indoor worker protections, but construction crews face even stricter rules.
Let's go inside here real quick.
They need fresh water and shade when it hits just 80.
Coming through.
Najjar shows me where his crews cool down.
You'll see bottled water everywhere.
He then takes us to the top, the 16th floor, where workers face a full sun exposure.
So when these guys want to cool down, they'll go inside underneath the shade. I mean, there's shaded areas there and around the corner.
If temperatures hit 95 degrees, supervisors must constantly monitor workers for heat illness symptoms. But it's not just construction crews dealing with the heat.
I just stay hydrated. Make sure y'all drink y'all water.
Delivery drivers like Keenan Washington are finding their own ways to beat the temperature.
All I do is just stay in the car if I can, keep that AC on.
Even athletes are adapting.
Practicing this heat, it's like just getting your mental right.
Mesa College freshman Devin Riley was headed to football practice with his shoulder pads in hand.
What I be doing, get water, pour it down your back, drink, hydrate, electrolytes every day.
From construction sites to delivery routes to the practice field, everyone's finding ways to stay cool, and most don't mind the challenge.
Fantastic, you know?
Incredible access to see the high levels that they're working at in those construction crews. That was Abby Black reporting. Cal OSHA has a voluntary heat illness prevention network. This is to help employers and workers stay aware of the dangers. And Davis Reed Construction tells us they are a part of that. For more than a decade, families in Normal Heights endured crews mixing asphalt for road construction right outside of their homes. Yeah, in the middle of the night, they're trying to sleep. They've begged the city to stop contractors from using their residential street as a staging area. We worked for you on this story last week, and now there is some real action. Council member Sean Elo Rivera says it's going to stop.
We've made it clear we don't want staging to happen here anymore. We've been told it's not going to happen here anymore. That's a great thing for the community because nobody's neighborhood should be a contracting staging area.
Elo Rivera says he had been working with the city to try to eliminate this nuisance on 40th Street. It's over near Ward Canyon Park, but even the council member was getting the runaround too. And now he says the city has committed. Crews will no longer stage there. For years, more than 10 years, neighbors say city contractors mixed asphalt for multiple projects, staging intermittently and working through the night. They could not get a resolution until they reached out to CBS 8.
Gratitude to you, to CBS 8 for picking up the story and for putting some needed pressure on the city to do what's right.
Neighbors do remain cautiously optimistic, saying they want this commitment in writing and a point of contact should crews return. Who do they call now? The council members also asking the city to restore the road to better condition after years of heavy equipment use. The city says while it issued permits for recent SDG&E work over on Washington Street, it never authorized a staging area at Ward Canyon Park, so it has now banned the contractor from using that spot. Staff confirmed the area was cleared. Glad to see an update on that. We do have an update on a story CBS 8 has been following for years. This story here, plans for a controversial battery storage facility in La Mesa. They've officially been withdrawn. Working for you, CBS 8's Alex Lai shares how this is a win for many concerned residents.
The proposed site for the facility on El Paso Street, just feet from businesses and homes, which sparked serious safety concerns. Now we're working for you to follow up on the progress that's been made since we first brought you this story 2 years ago.
I literally stumbled upon this small sign right here on this lot.
2 years ago, Amy Reichert found out there were plans for an 18-megawatt battery energy storage facility to be built near her home, designed to store renewable energy for peak usage hours.
If a fire happened, these houses wouldn't even know what hit them.
Fires at similar facilities in Escondido, Otay Mesa, and Valley Center left neighbors terrified, not just of flames, but of the toxic chemicals that could be released in the air.
What we have to do to protect our families is become experts on lithium battery storage facilities.
Amy went door to door to alert neighbors and got Councilmember Laura Lothian involved.
This is in the middle of schools, houses, businesses. It's residential, and I'm like, why would you put something like that here in Little Mesa?
After research, community engagement, in a big town hall, Lothian got an email from city management 2 days ago that the plans were officially withdrawn.
Before I even had a chance to think, I emailed back, Yahoo!
But not everyone shared the same concern. John Matson, who works in the electrical industry, lives right behind the proposed site.
And I get their fear and frustration. For us and our family, like I said, coming from the industry, I wasn't afraid.
He felt withdrawing the plans was the right decision, but ultimately trusted fire officials to make the call.
If they believe that the risk is minimal and they are willing to take that chance, that is on them, that is not on me.
The company behind the project, EnerSmart, told CBS 8 it was canceled due to transmission constraints and the inability to qualify for resource adequacy, which allows the electric grid to meet the power demand of consumers at all times. Without that revenue, they say the project, quote, simply didn't pencil. As far as what the land will be used for is unknown, but residents did voice they would be interested in having a dog park there. Working for you in La Mesa, I'm Alex Lai for CBS 8.
And now new signs are lining the streets of downtown San Diego. Signs you may not want to see. They show the new pricing for parking meters that's set to go into effect next month. So this means during special events like Padres games, the concerts at Petco, costs will go from $2.50 an hour up to $10 an hour. The city says it'll affect all the meters about a half mile all around Petco Park, including everything south of Broadway to Harbor Drive and 16th Street, a large grid. We talked with people downtown who were stunned to hear about this new pricing.
I think it's excessive. It's already expensive to park down here, and it's going to impact my friends and family who come down and park when I don't have a spot for them in my garage. It's going to impact people who work down here who I see park here for work.
Yeah, Councilmember President Joe LaCava says the money will be used within the parking district for things like paving the streets, filling potholes, and improving sidewalks. This new pricing is set to go into effect in September. Up next here, new rules are coming for e-bikes and scooters in Chula Vista, what young riders need to know, and when some fines will begin. And renewed interest in ticks and Lyme disease, the risk here in San Diego. Welcome back. Chula Vista leaders just passed the toughest e-bike and scooter rules in all of San Diego County. This new ordinance bans kids under 12 from riding e-bikes altogether. It requires helmets for minors and prohibits riders under the age of 18 from carrying passengers, one person on a bike at a time. Motorized scooters are also banned from roads with speed limits of over 40 miles an hour. Violators face fines starting at $25 up to $250, a hefty fine, with possible bike confiscation for some serious cases. We know these bikes are not cheap. The rules take effect in 30 days from now, but the city will spend the following 60 days focused on education and warning people before they start issuing those fines. After revealing a personal health battle, singer Justin Timberlake is shedding a light now on the debilitating effects of Lyme disease. His recent announcement prompting many to ask questions about this illness, how to prevent it. Shannon Handy is working for you and has the information we all need to know.
I'm inside the county's ecology lab. This is where Lyme disease is monitored. It's transmitted through the bite of an infected tick. Experts here tell me while it is rare in San Diego, Lyme disease is still a concern.
In the final leg of his world tour, Justin Timberlake was criticized online for what some call lackluster performances. Timberlake has since announced he's been battling Lyme disease, a bacterial infection that can cause fever, chills, headache, fatigue, muscle, and joint aches.
The only species that we know that can transmit Lyme disease to a human is the western black-legged tick.
Remy Rivera is a vector ecologist for the county. He says those ticks can be found near wooded or grassy areas all over San Diego, including Mission Trails, Mount Laguna, and Balboa Park. Smaller than the eraser on a pencil, they're more prevalent during the rainy season and typically climb to the top of tall grass or vegetation as they wait for a person or animal to pass by.
These ticks cannot jump or fly. They don't have wings. They are arachnids, just like spiders are arachnids, and they just lay in wait for passerby to grab onto them.
The county regularly collects and tests thousands of ticks annually, but they haven't found one that carries Lyme disease in 5 years. In other words, it's rare here, even though it's the most common vector-borne disease in the United States. But no matter where you are, precautions should be taken.
One of the first things you can do to avoid getting bit is to stay in the middle of the trail. That keeps you away from the brush where ticks live.
Also, wear pants, a long sleeve top, and repellent.
We recommend any EPA-registered repellent like DEET, picaridin, or lemon of eucalyptus.
And make sure to check your skin and clothing after spending time outdoors.
Parents should help their children also after being out and about.
What should you do if you notice a tick on your skin? Use tweezers and slowly pull the tick away without twisting.
The faster you can get the tick off you, the lower the chance of disease transmission.
It takes 24 hours for Lyme disease to transfer into your bloodstream. Symptoms usually appear 3 to 30 days after the bite and could include a distinctive bullseye rash. But many people don't notice for months or even years. If treated early using antibiotics, Lyme disease can be cured. Working for you, Shanna Handy, CBS 8.
I know that video kind of tough to watch, right? This is not, though. Still ahead here, we are working for kids. How canine companions are trained for all the sights and sounds inside a children's hospital. Welcome back to our Working for You special here. A new research shows beach and water advisories are expanding now beyond the South Bay. Mission Bay and Encinitas now on a list of beaches with high bacteria levels, something you should check regularly through the county website. That bacteria poses health risks to swimmers and could hurt tourism too. The executive director at San Diego Coastkeeper says it's not necessarily more contamination flowing north from Tijuana, but better reporting.
Science around testing water quality has gotten better to make sure we know exactly how much bacteria is in the water so we can make better predictions about, how to protect the public.
He also says that untreated sewage from leaky sewer pipes or those stormwater drains could be pushing bacteria to unsafe levels at some beaches. Beyond the beaches, the water contamination can also create toxic algae blooms. In the long term, that does make the ocean more acidic, which eats away at the minerals in coral reefs and shells of sea life. Important to try to prevent bacteria from flowing in altogether. We are continuing to highlight a special partnership that could change how patients heal at Rady Children's Hospital. For the second year now, CBS 8 working for kids to help launch the hospital's first professional resident canine therapy program. They do need your help to fund this program. CBS 8's Abby Black shows us how these dogs are trained.
Abudu, tug. Come on, buddy. You got it, buddy. Come on. Come on, tug.
This simple tug command has a bigger purpose.
Watch as Splash demonstrates the tugging command. Not only can she pull a blanket off, but this also can serve as an engaging physical therapy activity for a patient in rehabilitation.
Jump. Good boy. Good boy. Down.
These dogs also provide a blanket of comfort to young patients like 7-year-old Jack Kensing, who's getting his blood drawn, one of many procedures since he was born with kidney disease.
2 weeks after he turned 1 year old in 2019. And just thinking of how intimidating that process can be, with the regular blood checks. It's only recently that he would stop crying.
Jack's father, Kyle, works with canine companions.
Good boy. Nice.
And believes a resident dog could transform his son's experience.
Having that extra little companion, there with him, with a service dog or facility dog from Canine Companions, I just imagine how much smoother and easier that would make the process for him.
This can be used for physical therapy.
That's why CBS 8 is working for kids to launch the first professional resident canine therapy program at Rady Children's Hospital, serving nearly 300 pediatric patients each year.
Let's go.
Insurance does not cover this, so it's fully funded through donations to pay for the care of 3 full-time resident canines and the child life specialists who handle these doctors. While Canine Companions provides the facility dogs at no cost, the program continues to require significant funding to launch and sustain.
It takes the community coming together and deciding that we need a program like this to be able to start and sustain an important program that will really help our kids.
These are not your typical therapy dogs.
You can do this for like deep pressure regulation, or if you need to check their ears if they're not able to, lean down.
They come from Canine Companions in Oceanside, where training manager Chuck Dickinson says,
"Good job, buddy."
They start training at 8 weeks old with foster families, getting used to all the sights and sounds.
Yes, good boy.
At about 2 years old, the Golden Retrievers and Labs go through 6 to 9 months of professional training to adapt to any situation. Wheelchairs, walkers, medical tubes, even fire alarms like the one that went off during our interview.
It's a highly emotional, stressful situation. So the dogs need to be patient. They need to be calm.
Want to meet my dog?
I would love to meet your dog.
Okay.
Studies show these facility dogs lower anxiety and depression. They're not just visitors, they're part of the medical team.
Tio, shake.
Not only are they just working for one individual, they could see several hundred individuals a week. They could see up to 5 to 10 people a day, maybe more depending on the facility.
Dickinson says that he's seen the magic happen, like with one young patient who refused to get out of bed for physical therapy.
And I said, wouldn't it be cool if she knocked the cone over and the dog picked it up, gave it back to her so she could do it again? And within minutes, it changed her total emotional output that she wanted to kick the cone over again and again.
Do you stay on that side?
For families like the Kensians, that hope could change everything.
You're a pretty good dog handler, mister.
Your donation can make this a reality.
A dog really does bring just a different level of connection. Having that in a scary situation or a potentially stressful situation, it's remarkable the kind of power that could have.
Working for kids, Abby Black, CBS 8.
Right? They are instant mood changers, aren't they? Next week, we take a deeper look at how child life specialists are matched with their canine partners. And be sure you join us for the CBS 8 and Rady Children's Give-a-thon. It's happening August 26th. We are planning for a big day to bring canine comfort to young patients. You can also donate right now by going online at radyfoundation.org/CBS8, or you see that QR code right there on the screen. Grab your phone, scan over it right now, and you'll be able to donate. That's going to do it for us. You can always email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com. Thank you and have a great day.